Hi, welcome to this video where I'm going to show you how to solve question 1 on the Tupton Hall School Practice Paper 2. This is designed for Core 1 for AQA, but it's suitable for other exam boards as well. As ever, if you want to contact me, you can do so on Twitter at Mr_G_Walton or our school account at Tupton Maths. So this first question, it's quite a tricky question. It's asking us to solve the equation x squared plus 3 root 3x minus 30 equals 0, giving your answer in the form p root 3, where p is some form of integer. Now, you will know how to solve quadratics, and you'll have been able to do that since year 10. You'll also know how to do surds, and you've probably done that at GCSE as well. But combining these two things is a different matter, and this is where it starts to become a little bit difficult. Typically, when we're looking at solving quadratics, we've got 3 different ways we can go about it. We could, if we wanted to, think of putting it into brackets, so factorising it and then solving. So I'm hoping that straight away you're looking at this and thinking, I can't think of any numbers that multiply together to give me minus 30, yet add together to give me 3 root 3. If you are, then you don't need to be watching this video, you're a better mathematician than I am. Or you could go about the process of completing the square, or you could use the quadratic formula. And it's entirely up to you which of those two you use, whichever you're more comfortable with using, whichever you feel most confident doing, really. I'm going to first of all do the quadratic formula, but I'll complete the square for you as well in case you've done it that way, so you can see the differences. So if I was doing the quadratic formula, I'm going to set it out nice and neatly. So x equals minus b plus and minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. And I'm just going to jot down the side what my a, b and c coefficients are. So a is 1, b is this nasty 3 root 3, and c is minus 30. Okay, continue now to put the values in and we'll see where we go from there. So x equals minus 3 root 3 plus and minus the square root of 3 root 3 squared. I've stuck that in brackets so that I remember how to do that part. Minus 4 times 1 times minus 30. Remember to keep my square root sign all the way across. I'm dividing it all by 2 lots of 1, which is 2. So I've got minus 3 root 3 plus and minus. Right, this is the bit now I'm going to do a little bit of maths. Let's think what's going on. 3 squared is 9. Root 3 squared is 3. And 9 times 3 is 27. So this part of my bracket here that I'm pointing to is 27. So 27, and then minus 4 times 1 is minus 4, times minus 30 is minus positive 120. So plus 120, all divided by 2. So now I've got that x equals, I'll keep it tidy all the way along, x equals minus 3 root 3 plus root 147 over 2 and minus 3 root 3 minus root 147 over 2. These are the 2 different solutions I'm going to get. Now it'd be really nice if this were to tidy up a little bit more, and the clue here is in the question. Remember, we're trying to give my answers in the form of p root 3. Now I've got part of this in terms of root 3, but root 147 isn't in this form yet. So there's a good chance that something's going to go into this. Now, you may take a little while for you to spot what's going on here, but trust me, 49 and 3 multiply together to make 147. So I could continue to write this as x equals minus 3 root 3 plus, now if 49 and 3 multiply together to make 147, then I've got 7 root 3 over 2, and also x equals minus 3 root 3 minus 7 root 3 over 2. These are my two different solutions. From here is this one, and this one is this one. Now, if this was on a single page, then I'll continue to work down the page. So under here, I'll be putting this part, and under here, I'll be putting this part. I'm kind of running out a little bit. I'm just going to finish off now. If I collect my two like terms together, I've got minus 3 root 3 plus 7 root 3, which is 4 root 3. 4 root 3 over 2 is going to give me 2 root 3. So one of my solutions is x equals 2 root 3. Another solution I can get is from the purple starred section, where I've got minus 3 root 3 minus 7 root 3, which is minus 10 root 3, divided by 2 is minus 5 root 3. So that's my other solution, which is minus 5 root 3. I've got two answers, and they're in the form p root 3, where p is an integer. Okay, so let's do this exact same question again, but we're going to use completing the square this time. This is just for your information. Now, you may have done it this way, and this is for you just to kind of check. Either way is going to be fine for you to do this. I guess it's down to personal preference, really. So the question I've just written out again. If we're completing the square, remember that what we do, we go through the same process each time. We have to halve the x coefficient. So we've got x plus, now I've got 3 over 2 root 3 squared. And we always end up taking away the square of this. Now this is going to be a little bit tricky, but let's just have a think about what's going on. Let's square the bottom bit first, square the fraction, that's the easy part. So we're going to take away, we know it's going to be over 4, because that's what 2 squared is. Let's think about squaring this part then. So the square of 3 is 9, and root 3 squared is 3, so 9 times 3 is 27. You'll remember we got that same solution from when we did the quadratic formula earlier. And this is going to, what else do I need to, I still need to put my minus 30 here as well, and this equals 0. Okay, let's work out what 30 is in terms of quarters. That's going to help us. So 3 over 2 root 3 squared, minus 27 over 4 minus 30. A common mistake at this point would be to do minus 27 and just take 30 away from it, forgetting that this is 27 over 4. Okay, so I'm going to have to turn my minus 30 into something over 4, which would be minus 120 over 4, equals 0. I've now got x plus this nasty looking thing here, squared. If I collect these two terms together and add them to both sides, I've got minus 27 over 4 minus another 120 over 4, so minus 147 over 4. Add that to both sides, so I'm just bringing it over to the other side now, and I've got 147 over 4. Okay, next step, I'm going to square both sides. So I've got x plus 3 over 2 root 3 equals root 147 over root 4, which I'm just going to write as 2. Then from here, I'm going to carry on, put up my page up here. So what can I do next? Let's multiply everything by 2. That's going to tidy lots of things up. So if I multiply everything by 2, I've got 2x plus 3 root 3 equals root 147. We remember that root 147 was the same as, oh wow, I just realised I've just made a small error here, so I'm just going through this. Remember when we're square rooting, we need the positive and negative. I've forgotten to put it in, I'll just do it now. There we go. So from my previous part when I was working this out, we remember that root 147 is root 49 multiplied by root 3, or 7 root 3. So plus and minus 7 root 3. So I've just simplified my surd here to get to this point. Remembering our pluses and minuses. This is a common mistake that students make, and I forgot to do it myself as well, which is a little bit remiss. Okay, so now I can collect my terms together. Let's take 3 root 3 from both sides. So 2x equals, let's do 7 root 3 minus 3 root 3 for one solution. And I'll just do a little red star next to that one. That's one of my solutions. I'll put or 2x equals 7 root 3. That was minus 7 root 3 minus 3 root 3. And I'll put a little purple star next to these. Again, collect my like terms together. So 2x equals 4 root 3, or 2x equals minus 10 root 3. But I want to know what x is. So I have to divide both sides by 2. So this implies that x is 2 root 3, and this implies that x is minus 5 root 3. Exactly the same solutions that we got previously. Just about going about it in a slightly different way. So whichever way you prefer, either way, I've used probably the similar sort of numbers of lines. I'm not sure that one's particularly easier than the other, but it is down to personal choice. Okay, let's move on to the next part then. This is part B now. We've got all the information. It says sketch the graph, clearly showing where the curve intersects the coordinate axis. Well, I've already found out that x is 2 root 3 and minus 5 root 3. So let's see what we're going to have then. We need to know the general shape first. It's a positive x squared, so we know it's going to be this kind of a shape. We also know where it crosses the x-axis. That's a good enough information for us. So minus 5 root 3 is going to be somewhere over here. Let's just make a little mark of it and let's label it on minus 5 root 3. And somewhere over this side we're going to have 2 root 3. And the curve is going to come through these 2 points. So it's going to come down, something like this, and this is the graph, clearly showing where the curve intersects the coordinate axis. Now, I've got my 2 x points marked clearly on. I haven't yet put on where it crosses the y-axis, and this is at minus 30. So if we're just labelling this up neatly, I've got my x-axis clearly shown. I've got my y-axis clearly shown. I've shown where it intersects the x-axis at the 2 points. I've shown where it intersects the y-axis. Yours should look something similar to this. Okay, so this question was all about surds and quadratics. If you're taking notes, then this would be a good point to do your revision cards. This was combining skills, which means that the question is more demanding than if it was just a single skill that we're trying to do. When we're solving quadratics, remember you've got 3 choices. You can factorise and solve, you can complete the square and solve, or you can use the quadratic formula. Just choose the one that you think is going to be best for you. Most of all, you do have the skills to do these sorts of questions. You're not going to be asked something in an exam or a test or any homework or anything like that using skills that you don't have, or at least that they haven't been shown. Your teacher will have shown you how to do these things, but maybe not combining them together in the way that this question has done. That's why we're doing it. Okay, so don't worry, don't panic. Good luck, keep going, and good luck with any tests, mocks, or final exams that you might have coming up soon. Cheers, bye.